How you doing? This is Allan from mindvisionmedia.net, and this tutorial is going to be about child themes, responsive WordPress child theme creation, activation, and use. I had several other child theme videos on YouTube, and based on feedback I decided to just redo the child theme tutorial and simplify it and condense it, and still gonna provide you with enough information to create your own child theme for the responsive theme and any other WordPress theme you're using. The methods used are standard, and this information is out there on the internet, but I'm just going to put it in a format that's easy to understand, and let's get started. Okay, as I stated, today we're going to work with the responsive theme from Theme ID, Cyberchimps, and I'm inside my theme manager, inside my WordPress dashboard. Okay, to get there you go to Appearance and Themes, and these are the current themes that I have installed in WordPress. These are not activated, and your current theme is the one that's activated. Alright, in order to do this today, we're going to need to work on our server. Okay, whatever host you have. I happen to use iPower, but we're going to be working inside the cPanel a little bit, and you want to navigate to your themes folder, and if you notice here we have responsive 2011, 2011 child, and 2012. Now basically we got responsive 2011, 2011 child, and 2012. Okay, that's what your WordPress installation looks like on your server, inside your cPanel, inside your WP Content Themes folder. Okay, these are the folders for those themes. So we're going to create a child theme for the responsive theme today. Now you want to go to the root folder, okay, for your website, and navigate again to your themes folder. You want to have the themes folder highlighted. Okay, the themes folder in the directory for the theme that you want to create the child theme for. In this case we want to do this one right here, the responsive theme. So I have the parent folder selected, themes. Inside of themes I want to create a new directory called responsive child. Okay, so let's do that, and I'm going to spell it and write it out the same way the parent theme is. I'm just going to put dash child. Okay, go ahead and save that. Okay, so as the server refreshes, and now you see we have inside the themes folder, we have the parent theme responsive, and now we have the new child theme folder or directory that we just created, responsive child. Okay, now let's go ahead and refresh this site, and there it is right there. If we go inside, there are no files. Okay, so if we go back to our theme manager and refresh, nothing happens. Okay, it's still just showing the basic 4 themes that I have installed. Now what we're going to do is open up a text editor, in this case Notepad. You can use Notepad++ or any other text editor. I do not recommend using Microsoft Word or any program similar, because the formatting applied to the text in those programs can break your code and cause issues. So use a text editor. Okay, and we're going to create a file to go inside of our new child theme folder, which will help us activate it. Now I just happen to have a piece of code here that's going to be used. I have provided this code for download on my website, and it's available on the internet, as I stated earlier. But what I've done is I've just condensed the process and provided some instructions along with it and put it in a text file. That way you can have it handy on your computer, and you know, you don't have to go on the internet necessarily to take a look at it and reference it. Alright, maybe you want to throw it on a thumb drive and just have it with you, you know, while you're working on a site or something. Anyway, I'm putting in some version numbers right now, and I'll explain the process in just a second. Alrighty, this code basically will tell the child theme to take over, or actually it'll talk to the browser and tell the browser, hey, look at me first. I'm the responsive child theme, and I want you to look at me and what I do before you look at the parent theme. Okay, the benefit of having a child theme and using a child theme, and the purpose behind using a child theme, is of course to protect and preserve the parent theme, especially when it comes to updates and modifications made by the creator or the developer, so that your modifications that you make are not lost when the parent theme is updated. If you're working on a copy of the original, then if changes are made to the original, it doesn't affect the copy, basically. There's a ton of nightmares out there that have happened regarding this issue. People get into WordPress, are not too familiar with it. I wasn't when I started, so I had to learn the hard way, like many people, to utilize a copy. Now, I came from other forms of web development, static, HTML, hybrid, before I got into WordPress. So I had some methodology and some methods in place. So I did have a habit of making copies, and that's why I recommend that in some of my tutorials, and I also recommend child themes as well. But the workaround is, of course, to make a copy of your file that you're editing in a text editor such as Notepad. Say for instance your home PHP or your front page PHP file, and you make a copy of the original, save that, and then you go ahead and make edits, and then you make a copy of that as well, so that you have a backup of both the default file as well as the file you modified. Okay, and that's just a safeguard. But in the essence of child themes, you're working on a copy of that theme, so the same methodology applies. You won't destroy the original, and whatever modifications I do on the child theme can be preserved. Alright, so we have the theme name. In this case, I'm going to call it the MVM Responsive Child Theme, and the URL is of course your website and the location of your installation. A short description: this is a child theme for the responsive theme. The author is yours truly, Allan. The URL, I don't necessarily have a URL for an about page for this demo site, so I can either leave this here, you can leave that there. I'll leave it there for this demonstration, but you can put a link to your about page or whatever page references the author. And the template is of course the responsive theme, and the version 1932 I believe is the latest And this piece of code here basically tells the browser and the child theme to reference the parent theme style CSS file. This is important because you need, of course, to have your child theme at least look like the parent theme to start with. And this code basically tells it to reference the parent theme's default style.css file. Okay, and then any modifications we make inside of this CSS file will override the parent theme style CSS. Okay, but we need to import the parent theme basic format, layout, styles, etc. to work on, to be able to work on the child theme. Okay, so this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and we're going to go ahead and save that file. And let me go ahead and put it on my desktop here. I'm going to call it style CSS. Style.css. Alright. I have one already. I'll just go ahead and override that. Go ahead and close that. Now we'll go back to our cPanel. And again, we have no files inside of our new responsive child theme folder or directory. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upload, browse for a file. Of course, you know how to do this stuff. Select the file, style.css, that's the file we just created in Notepad. I'm going to go ahead and upload that. Okay, and now we have a file, our first file inside of our responsive child theme folder or directory. Okay, just going to refresh it. Now if we jump back over to our theme manager inside of our dashboard and refresh. Oh wow, okay, so now look, another theme popped in there. And look, it's the MVM responsive child theme by yours truly, Allan. Alright, so now it's showing up inside of your WordPress theme manager, and that's because it now has a style sheet telling the browser, look at me first. So when it does that, the browser sees the name of this theme, which is responsive child theme, and it sees the name of this author, Allan. Okay, and that's what we see right here. It's looking at the child theme name first, and it's looking at the author. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and activate that. Actually, before we do that, it looks kind of odd, right? No icon, no picture. Alright, let's fix that. Close that. Now, what we can do is go back to the parent theme folder or directory, which is responsive in this case, and get the screenshot for the responsive theme. But before we do that, what we want to do is copy this URL here, or this little address right here, which is the address to the child theme folder. Okay, here's your directory, here's your WP content, themes, and responsive child. That's the folder we're inside of. Okay, so we want to copy that. Now let's go back to the parent theme folder for the responsive theme. Okay, and we want to scroll down and look for screenshot.png. Okay, screenshot.png. Okay. What we're going to do is copy that, select it, working inside your cPanel, and now it wants to know the destination directory for the selected item. Where do you want to copy it to? Now we paste in that address to our responsive child theme directory and click copy. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead and go back to our responsive child theme folder. And now you notice we have a screenshot.png file in there. We just made a copy of the one inside the parent folder and sent a copy to our child theme folder. Okay, hope you understand that. Go ahead and refresh. Now, when we go back to our theme manager and refresh, it now has the same icon as the parent theme. Okay, and if you notice, it's the same. I did the same thing for my 2011 theme. I created a 2011 child, and it has the same icon as that. Now, I want to show you something. You don't necessarily, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. You don't necessarily have to use that image. Okay, so let's see. In the responsive chat, let's go here. Let's go to our uploads folder. I think I have a couple of images in here. I'm going to go ahead and select this image, copy it over to my child theme directory. Okay. Go back to our responsive child. Now we have this image in here. And what I'm going to do is change that name. Okay. I'm going to name it screenshot.png. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Refresh that. And now let's go back to our theme manager and refresh. And now you see I put a custom image there so I can quickly identify it. But I like to name my child themes something that references the parent theme. That way I know that this theme is based on the responsive theme. You can name it whatever you want, and you can have whatever picture you want here as long as it's named screenshot.png inside your child theme folder. But a good practice is to make sure it's named something that tells you where it came from and what it's what the basic formatting is based on, which parent theme it's using. Alright, so now that we've demonstrated that, we have a style.css file in there which has basically nothing in there. It's just telling the browser, hey, look at me first. We haven't really made any modifications inside there yet. Okay, and we put an image in here and named it screenshot.png. Alright, and that gave us what we see here in our theme manager. I'm going to go ahead and activate that child theme now. Okay, so the current theme is now the MVM responsive child theme by Allan, and child theme for the responsive theme, that's our description, and the child theme requires its parent theme responsive. Alright, so if we go to our site, here's the default. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh, and nothing changed. Okay, that's because we're working from a live copy of the parent theme, but our child theme is our current theme. Alright, so now we're going to make some changes to the child theme. Over to appearance, and let's just go to background. I'm going to say change the background to green. That ought to be interesting. Let's go ahead and refresh that. Wow. Oh my God. That's pretty bright. Anyway, I just want to be able to show you. Mellow that out. That's pretty. There we go. Okay, a little less harsh. Now let's do something else. Let's go back to theme options and let's go to the home page and let's change the subtitle to working on a child theme, and in the content area let's see. This is a child theme demonstration, and let me just copy that. Paste that in a few times. Alright, so we made some changes there to the child theme homepage. I'm going to change the title. Okay. This could be your child theme site. Alright. Go ahead and save those changes. And let's go back. And so all this stuff right here should pretty much change. And there you go. Just wanted to make some quick changes to the child theme. Change the background, add some stuff here, blah blah blah. Alright. I'll even put some text underneath that featured image. Let's see. I can swing that. Actually, I think that's enough to demonstrate what I need to demonstrate. So now let's go back to appearance and themes. Alright, now we're on our child theme and we made some changes. So we're going to go ahead and activate the parent theme. Okay, so now the current theme is the responsive parent theme by theme ID, not the child theme that we created. Alright, let's go back to our website and refresh. And as you can see, it went back to the default format. Now, the changes here are in the theme options. Okay. So those carry over. Okay. Whatever you name your site or whatever content you add to your site will carry over. Format changes, style changes, color, text, page modifications, widgets, any type of coding or code modifications that you make are lost. But default input data such as headline, subtitle, content, etc., that carries over back and forth from child theme to parent theme. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. You don't lose all your stuff and have to rewrite everything, but you can go ahead and modify code. So as you can see, the background was something that was affected by a hexadecimal code inside of the theme options or background. By changing this, we changed a code inside the PHP, okay, the style CSS, because the code is telling the browser to show whatever code is selected. Alright, so on the child theme we turn this into green, and on the default parent theme it's still the default color, and that's why it doesn't have a green background. Alright, so basically this is how you work with a child theme. It's how you create one, it's how you activate it, it's how you work on it. Now I want to show you something else. You can, now that you have your child theme directory and you have your basics set up, which is the style CSS and the screenshot PNG file that will be the icon or image for your child theme, you can now bring over other files and modify those. And you don't necessarily have to bring over the entire file, but you can bring over, let's say for example, I'm back inside the parent theme here for the responsive theme. Let's say I wanted to modify the colophon widget PHP, or the sidebar home PHP. Okay, so if I select that, let's do a copy on that. Whoops, I lost my URL. I'll just cheat right here and get that URL, and I'll select that and copy, paste that in, and just add the rest of the URL. So I'm copying the sidebar home PHP file over to my child theme folder. I'm going to copy that, and this is so I can demonstrate what I mean. Let's go back to the child theme folder. Now you see a copy of the sidebar home PHP file in there. Let's go ahead and edit that. I'm editing on the server, and as you can see, this file contains home widget 1, home widget 2, and home widget 3. Okay, that's these widgets right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my child theme, go back to themes. I'm going to deactivate the parent theme. I'm going to activate the child theme. Okay, we're back on our child theme. Let's go make sure and refresh. Okay, we got that green background, so we're on our child theme. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to get rid of widget 3. And widget 2. I'm just going to get rid of those, and this is just for purposes of demonstration. Alright, so I got rid of those two, and then I'm going to do something else to this. I'm going to change this div column here. I'm just going to do some crazy stuff here. Okay, went ahead and made some serious modifications to the widget area. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the child theme, and now you see there's just one widget at the bottom. Okay, I'm working on the child theme. I got rid of widget 2 and 3, and I just made a single widget. Alright, now let's go back and activate our parent theme. Okay, go back, refresh, and now we're back to our original parent theme. So that's the beauty of it, folks. I hope this was helpful. If you got any questions, contact me at myvisionmedia.net.